bonjour, good evening, good afternoon. It means actually wherever you find yourself tonight. My name is Gracia Susuzande, and welcome to Etancelle. Tonight we are going to be discussing about Meet Me Halfway. And if you ever missed the last show that we had with CJ Saint, which was an amazing gospel artist, then you can always catch up on YouTube page. You can catch up on Etancelle page and also on Oblique des Dents. So I'm just gonna give you a short little break. Please do share as much as you can because I cannot do this show without you. You know, it is essential for you to connect, and not just with your papers, but also with your presence, with your share, with everything that you have, as I need your help as much as possible. So have your break, go have some tea, popcorn, grab whatever you need. Tell a friend to tell a friend to connect tonight. Right now, we're not taking too much of that break and come back to us, right? See you soon in a minute. Take care. Et oui, nous sommes bel et bien de retour on this platform where you connect every single Friday. And so I hope that you have your pen, that you have your book, because we're about to speak, we're about to put out there the information for you to, to intake that just like a sponge. Let's talk about Meet Me Halfway. And that is something that really occurred to me as it is essential. We live in a world where if you want to go forward, it's impossible for you to do it on your own. We live in a world where you want to get married, but you cannot get married on your own. You need someone, a partner. You want to do studies and you want to progress in that. Yes, you probably need yourself and your paper, but you also need your teacher. You know, we're living in a world where it's impossible to do it on your own. But as a lot of people think that you can do it on your own, you can make it on your own, that you can just, you know, study and, but unfortunately, even if you study, to who, if there was nobody else like beside you, to who are you going to share your information to? You know, there's all these things to think about. And so this is why, like, meet me halfway is something that it fits in the church. When it comes to church, it fits in when it comes to the young people of this generation. It fit into when it comes to married people. It fit into young adult lifestyle. It fits in so many cases. And then it's very important not to be ignored. And it seems like a lot of people do. So before we get deeper into the subject, let's define a little bit what meeting me halfway actually means. All right, definition of meeting somebody halfway is you accepting some of the points that they are making so that you can come to an agreement with them. All right, so you accepting to have an agreement with someone. By also accepting how they're moving, accepting how they think, accepting so many things, not everything, but at least 50% of it. And then they also accepting how you come with your own baggages somehow in the middle, you know. And it seems like sometimes people want to make it more 60 than it is 50. They want to make it more 70 than it is actually 50. Because when you meeting 50-50, and you actually put it together, is equal 100%. 50% plus 50% equal 100. All right. And so it's important to be fair when it comes to an agreement. You cannot go to not even a meeting, but when it comes to you accepting a job, right, an interview, and after they taking you in, they're presenting this contract in front of you, and there's so many things written on it, and they're asking you to read it. But if you can't seem to agree on the things that is been written on the contract, there's no way you'll be able to sign that contract because you're not agreeing to it. You know, or maybe if this manager is nice enough, they can let you off when it comes to, you know, modifying certain things, like, hey, like maybe I can't come at this time, or no, I cannot do this, but I can do this, you know. And this is when it comes to, you know, meeting halfway in terms of agreement. And when in the same word we find a way, right? And when I see a way, I think about a journey. In the life that we're living in, is some people say it's a journey, because you started somewhere and you're going somewhere. And the same time, it's the same thing when it comes to you, for example, meeting someone along the journey. In that journey, you're meeting that person halfway. Comme on dit en français, tu peux dire aussi sorte de parcours, d'accord? Like in that journey, you're meeting that person on your way, you're meeting them halfway, right? They're making the same distance as you, not more, not less. Meeting simply means it is when two people or more people come together to discuss one or more topics. That topic can be anything. That topic can be school. That topic can be, you know, studies. It can be love. It can be friendship. It can be whatever it is, but it's an important subject. Okay, it can also be, on dit banal, you know, a bit funny, a bit stupid, but it's still a topic that you're discussing with two or more people. Often a normal business, it can be business, or it can also be more than business, in terms of occur in a variety of an environment. Many various type of meeting exist also, besides those kind of topics. those kind of meetings. There are other meetings, just like status updates meeting. You have information sharing meeting. You have discussion making meeting. You have problem solving meeting. You have innovation meetings. You have team building meeting, and so on. And those meetings is still involving more than one person. All right, I hope you understand already where we're going with this. Meeting someone halfway also means collaborating with someone, you know, helping each other, having a helping hand, meaning that, you know, if this person is pushing a heavy load, you're not letting a person do it on its own or on his own, but you're helping them to push this heavy load, so the heavy weight is basically shared between you. You have the two energy put together in order to bring this heavy load to where it's supposed to go. And usually we meet this also basically in everything, especially schools, as I always say. We're also meeting in a marriage and so on. Why are we talking about meeting someone halfway? It seems like, to me, when I see meet me halfway, I see compassion, I see love. Meet me halfway, I see yes, collaboration, but I see so much when it comes to that. I see kindness. Meet me halfway, because you can never meet someone halfway if that person is not kind to you. You can never meet that person halfway if that person doesn't do anything for you. I see love. Why? Because it has to be love for you to meet someone halfway. It has to be love. In all kind of department, you cannot never meet someone halfway if there's not like little bit of caring inside. You know, meeting someone halfway. Meeting someone halfway. All right, moving forward. We're just gonna give you a short little break. All right, continue to connect, because we're about to go a little bit deeper into the subject. So I hope that you are also connected. Please drop your comments, say what you think is important to say. Let me know what are really your thoughts when it comes to meet me halfway, meet someone halfway. So where exactly do you want me to touch a little bit more in when it comes to this subject? Because I'm going to be general, and if you think that this subject is so necessary, especially in our community or in this time, in this area, in this moment, in this season, then there's going to be a second part into meeting me halfway. So don't go anywhere, and we're coming back to you in a couple of seconds. Et oui, nous sommes bel et bien de retour, and I hope that the base, the foundation, and the definition that I just placed right now is kind of helping you to understand a little bit of what we're going to be talking about. As I said, it's going to be general, so if there's certain things like you feel like I need to elaborate a little bit more, we are going to push it to the next meeting, meaning next Friday, second part. Let's talk about the bullet points when talking about, we said school, we said parenting, we say we said marriage, but hey, when it comes to marriage, I'm probably gonna invite someone. When it comes to that, when it comes to just the social life and the community, the things that we literally live day by day, and we're also going to touch church, and then I hope that the ministers and pastors around the world are going to be kind with me on this bullet point, right? Anyway, moving forward, school. I've also been, a student. All right, so right now I'm not a student anymore, but I've been that little girl who started primary school, moving to the second school and so on to university. And what I understood is that when it comes to studying, it's not just about you. You can definitely, when you're starting, I mean, you're a little girl, your parents are usually the ones encouraging, in the society we live in, encouraging academic study. Apart from the education that parents can give a child at home, the child also needs the academic study, education, which is very necessary. So as a little girl, as a little child, you also have your parents are pushing you, are going to drop you to the nursery, and in the nursery they're teaching you comme on dit en français, les B à bas, the base of when it comes to the education, and you're learning as you go. And it will come at some point when you're in a secondary school. Sometimes, like parents the children, at times they can collaborate when the child says, "Mommy, I don't feel like going to school," and then she's just like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna do you that favor. I'm gonna call the school just to back you up on that one." It happens. It happens when, like, parent and children can collaborate on when the child doesn't want to go to school, or when the child actually feels sick and there's actually a motive that's good enough for the child not to go to school. But it will come at some point where it's like it's about you and it's about the things that you're taking in, meaning the teacher, because you want to go in order to get good points. You're going so you can succeed at some point, like people say, or not even people, how it's been said, like if you succeed in academic part of your life, then it's like you're securizing it's like your future is secure. But is it really? We're gonna touch on that one. But what I want to say is that you're going every day to school, you're writing things down on your paper, in your book, you're going back home and you're leaving it aside. How would you expect success? Because you're not doing really what is calling meeting halfway, right? You're going with your 50%, but doing the other job is also studying. You've taken in the things what the teacher has told you, have injected into you, but the thing is you didn't process it. Processing the thing, it means going back home and actually reading back the things you've written. It meaning like prepare your exams. Because a lot of people think that we're all different. There's different type of style and style of learning. You have the visual, you have the ones that you need to write so many times in order for you to take the information in. The ones that you just need to hear, listen to what she says, and that's it. But and there's so many other that involve this style of learning, but somehow you can't seem to do your part. So how can you expect success? How can you expect A or A plus, or B, whatever it is that you expecting? You can't do it. Meeting halfway means do what you gotta do in order to get exactly what you expected to get. All right. And then this really goes for um, a lot of young people who just think that yeah, let me just go out, let me just do what I gotta do, let me meet my friends, study is okay, I'll do it later, or maybe they won't. But when you come back, maybe you only did 25% of what you're supposed to do. You only met that 10%, but you didn't meet that 50%, because the 50% has already been given to you by your teacher, you know. And there's all the other points as well, that when it comes to that place, but the other side where you were supposed to meet, somehow you didn't. So you can't really expect success. Moving forward, parenting. Parenting. And this is quite a bright subject. We're going to go deeper probably a second time as well. But young people need support. You know, they need support. And the first support they get is the people they live with. It's true, at this present moment, there is probably orphans out there who are fighting on their own, who are doing things on their own. Even with them, that 50% goes for them as well. But for those one who have still their parents who are still alive, I mean, they're still alive. Children needs their parents to support them, and as much as possible, they just believe that, yeah, she's going to school, yeah, he's going to school, and that's all it needs. No, sometimes it needs you to sit down with that child, because sometimes you haven't understood what kind of learning style is the child really is all about. I mean, how does he learn? How does she learn? What is the distraction? What are the things that is distracting my child to push forward? You know, what kind of energy does she or does he really need in order to push forward? Parents need to collaborate with their child, and their children also need to collaborate with their parents. It goes, I mean, it takes 50% for from both sides in order to have that 100%. I mean, bear in mind, no one is perfect, and no one never will be perfect. But in this world, in this time, I feel like a lot of parents are giving up somehow on their children, and children also are giving up somehow on their parenting. And like I said before, meet me halfway. I see love, I see caring, I see helping. I see so, you know, good things in that helping, in that meet me halfway, because I need to do my part and you need to do your part. A lot of parents are not doing that part in this generation, and probably maybe because, you know, the children are very stubborn, or maybe because they get lost in the social world, they get lost in their community, because they get lost in so many things that is happening at this present moment. And I really want to, c'est comme un peu quoi, tirer les oreilles, like you know, how do you say in English? Tirer les oreilles. I really wanna tell, just for you to pay attention right now. Like, your child needs your help. Bring your 50% so your child can bring their 50%. You know, how can you just expect your child to be at home when you don't check on her? Sometimes that they need to see that my dad is on me in terms of, hey, are you home? What do you need? What is it that I can help you with? Like, sometimes those kind words, those words that children need to hear, it is very important. They want to know, they want to see. Sometimes speaking is just words that flies in the air. But when you put actually action, action stays. Action stays. Action stays. And the time that life that I'm living, and sometimes when I'm walking, you know, in the street around like 11 p.m., I can still see like 13 years old young girls or young boys, 13, probably even younger, 15, in the street. And I'm just wondering, what are you doing right here, right now, at this time? How comes your parent cannot just call you and check up on you, or maybe asking, or maybe they did, or maybe they just lied of where they are? There's so many truth when it comes to that. But meet me halfway. It means being also transparent. Meeting someone is coming with what you have. Meeting someone halfway is really being transparent. What is the point of me actually doing all the steps forward and actually the whole time I was actually just lying to you? You know, I was just lying to my dad the whole time. Then why am I actually doing? What is the energy for? What is the energy for? What is the energy for? I've encountered a lot of social media accounts where young girls, I mean, the other day, I believe it was around America, this young girl, she was only 15. They asked her a question and they asked her, like, how old are you? And then she wanted to say later. I was like, no, I'm gonna say it later. Oh, and later on, she asked the guy, the interviewer, say, guess how old I am? But if you look at the girl, the way she was dressed, the way she was presenting herself, you could have given her 30 years old. You could have given her 28 years old. I mean, in so much, because she was really beautiful, an Asian girl, beautiful. And then when the guy, the interviewer, said 26, 27, 30, 35, she slapped. She slapped his face, you know, une baffe sur son visage. And he said, I'm 15. And she walked away. I was stunned. So I was like, oh my God, you're actually 15. It was shocking. And I'm just like, your parent, doesn't your parent not see what you do on social media? Do they care? Do they not care? All these things are important. I mean, or if you can dress in a certain type of way, that's probably maybe because your parents are not on you. Or maybe they care, or maybe they don't care. What is the question really? Meeting halfway. And this and on this side is more parenting side. And I really want you guys to, you know, to pay attention to it. Please let me know if there's something that you want me to touch on as I'm going, and something that you want me to go a little bit deeper. And if there's something that you want to say, please write it down. I'm going to read it down. And if there's a question as we go along. All right? All right. All right. Moving forward. Church. Ooh. Meeting halfway. You have a calling in your life and you expect to build a church on your own. Really? Really? It's impossible. It's impossible. What kind of energy do you have to be able to build a church on your own? No, you can't. You can't. It's impossible to do so. What you need, you even you're called a pastor because of members. Even if you have 2 or 3, right? As the Bible says, that where there's 2 or 3 gathered in my name, I'm there. God is there. But as long as you have those 2 people, you're not on your own anymore. You need to do your part as delivering the message, but the members of your church also need to do their part. It's impossible to manage the choir, to manage the moderation, to manage the problems that those families are dealing with, to manage possibly maybe the transportation of someone in a... I mean, you're doing it on your own. It's impossible, my dear. It's impossible. How can you? How can you? And for members to sit down and expect the pastor or apostle or evangelist, regardless the title, to do things on their own is bonkers. Let me just say that. It's bonkers. We need each other. One finger cannot wash the face, but my 5 fingers can. With my 10 fingers, I can grab water and pour it on my face. You know, it's impossible to have a helping hand. We said in a definition that it's also collaborating. Meet me halfway is collaborating. If there's no love, in whatsoever you're doing in this congregation or church, or whether it's a local church or whether it's a universal church. Universal church is a bit, it's bright. It's bright. People connected from China, places, But when it comes to local church, love needs to be shown, care needs to be shown, and so much needs to be shown. But it's from both sides. It's from both sides. You can never build a business of food, for example, doing it on your own. I mean, I know a business called Oui Maman, and it just started. Is from amazing women, who are cooking. But besides the cooking, there's also the packing. Besides the packing, there's also the to drive out all those foods to those people, delivering those foods to each of and every single one of those houses. How can they do it on your own? How can you do it on your own? You think that it's you. Meet me halfway is not being greedy of power, because you can be the boss of that business, but bear in mind that you're not doing it on your own. Okay, bear in mind that you're not doing it on your own. We're going to continue a little bit further up, and we're just giving that short little break. We're coming back to you in a minute. Stay tuned. Meet me halfway. We touch on school, meaning the young people, and there's so much I want to say into it. you need to bear with me. There's a lot to say into it. Yeah, we have the young people in terms of just their own lifestyles and so on. Right? We talk about parenting, and that is a really bright subject. So if everything goes well, we possibly can have parenting also on the show in order to touch on that one. Meeting my child halfway, right? Anyway, relationship we haven't touched on, but we just spoke about church, the congregation, when it comes to the pastor. Members also always think that everything is about the pastor or the leader of the church. Yes, it's true. He or she are the ones who have the vision, but at the end of the day, they are called pastor because of members, and members also need to bring their part into the congregation. I can give an example on a pastor. A pastor is only a human being, just a human being. Yeah, he's not or she's not a robot in order to calculate and think and pray and meditate and no, it's impossible to do that. It's impossible to do everything at once, But what I know is that if you're truly a member of that church and you have the heart, you have you're caring with you care. I mean, you caring with you love, and you know that compromising is necessary. Well, come forward and help out. Come forward when it comes to cleaning up, for example, the church. Come forward when it comes to singing. Come forward when it comes to giving, serving, in that church with your money, with your finances, bringing forward your ideas in terms of the youth, for example. Bring in your part in terms of so many other parts that that church, for example, needs. Because not all churches are the same. Not all churches have the same vision. Not all churches goes and do things the same way. But if you know the vision of your pastor, your leader, for example, the leader of the church, then why not coming forward? That is you bringing your 50%. But don't complain. Don't just, don't just complain about certain things when you can't even do your part. What is your part in this? Where is your 50%? Where is your 50% in this time, in this generation? We need to go furthermore. I mean, not even furthermore, back actually. Let's go back a little bit. If we need to touch on the Bible, for example, most of the people in the Bible, when it comes to God, they've always met him kind of halfway. You need to be able to meet God halfway in order to do something, to achieve something. You don't fast enough, how can you have anointing? You don't spend time, in his presence. How can you expect power? How can you expect to be able to resurrect, for example, someone? You need to be able to spend time reading. You need to be able to spend time, fasting. When it comes to, how would I say this? Meeting someone also halfway, as we said, is to be able to agree. Mary agreed to what the angel came to tell her. She agreed to it. She shook the hands of the angel, say, yes, I'm taking it in. I'm taking this mission in consideration. I'm meeting you halfway. And this is why the angel even went on and to speak to Joseph, because she agreed to it. Any mission that's been given to men and women in the Bible, they met God halfway. And you can see the ones who haven't met them halfway, there was always a devastation. Their story never ended right. Somehow, something went wrong because there was no 50% at the beginning. There was no 50% during their journey. Somehow that 50% faded. Keep it steady. Whatever you give, keep it steady. Don't move left, right. Circumstances will occur. Circumstances will happen. But it doesn't mean that you should back up the 50% that you put. It's like the deposit. I'm putting my deposit in it. Then you come with yours too. And let's have an agreement. Let's agree to what we think is best in order to go forward. In order to go forward. You can have a car, but if you don't have petrol, you can never go to your destination. I can want to have my hair cut just like now, right? I can go halfway to meet my barber if my barber doesn't have the clippers and the scissors and everything that he needs to cut my hair. It won't happen. My hair will not be cut. Even if I have the will, let's have the will is my 50%. But I don't have money for the transport. There's no way I'll be able to travel to go to where I'm supposed to go. 50%. Meet me halfway. Meet me halfway. Compromise. Many relationships, fail because of lack of Many relationships don't go forward because you're not bringing your 50%. At the beginning, it was so sweet. It was very sweet. It was very, very sweet. At some point, it starts fading because your 50% start going down. But his 50% now start climbing up to 60, start climbing up to 70. She will never be able, or he will never be able to make it 100% because as soon as she starts doing that, if she hits the 100% or he hits the 100%, while you're still there, know that the relationship is over. It's done. There's no way it can go further up because you still need to bring something. You need to bring something on the table. You cannot say to a couple who have a child, or maybe, the dad cannot say that, oh, that's your child. And she said, no, that's your child. It is our child. In the DNA, when you go to search on, they're trying to find out who is the father of this child. They look at, they need to see, that's that 50% matches yours. Does it? If it doesn't, it is your child. It is also my child. It's 50% both. It takes a man and a woman to make a generation, to make a family, to make what needs to be made, to produce, to reproduce. It takes two energy to build a city. It takes only two, not one, not one. It takes a relationship. Oh, wow. A relationship takes two people. You had your best friend. She was the one you always used to look up to. She was the friend that you always used to call when you have a problem. Even to go, you should go and meet them at home. She, whether this best friend of yours has children or whatever it is, you had a beautiful relationship, but somehow you were not giving enough. She will start giving more than you. But your ego was too much to the point where today you don't have any relationship with your friend anymore. Sometimes we do destroy our relationship because of ego, because of jealousy, because of all these things. Lack of giving 50% of yours is called chaos. It breaks, it destroys. It destroys everything on its way. You're married to the most amazing guy and he's giving you everything that you need, but somehow you always find something to say. You're not bringing what you need to bring on the table. You're not bringing what is necessary. You want to build muscles, but you can't seem to feed your muscles. Feeding your muscle means going to the gym. Feeding your muscle, it meaning like eating the right food. Feeding your muscles or feeding your body with the right supplement. There's so much to put into in order to get the work. So that in the summers, people are looking at you and say, wow, she actually gave her best. Oh, wow, she looks stunning. You want people to wow you? What is the 50% that you're giving? What is the 50% you're giving? Relationship are failing, lack of compensate, of sometimes I'm lacking words, and words are just mumbling my word on my mouth. Honestly, you can't seem to give. You can't seem to give. Your wife is tired, but you're looking at her like that's your job. No. The reason why relationship also fails, because bear in mind, you and your girl, you started as boyfriend and girlfriend. It was beautiful. But you need to understand that during that time, if you started at 20 and today you're 30, you have changed. You have changed. You need to accept the fact that you have changed. And she needs to accept you as you have changed. It's normal for you to change. It's normal for you to change. Life builds you. Life changes you, transforms you. You know, but it has to be obviously in a good way. But you need to accept the person just the way that person are, with the 50% that they came with. As soon as you start backing down with that, relationship goes and fails. Even if your husband is far away from you, wherever they are in China, wherever they are in America, wherever they are, I don't know, in Africa, Australia, they're probably physically not there, but they're supporting you. They bring in their 50% as much as they can. How can you complain? You can't complain. There is no perfect relationship. There will never be. But as long as you acknowledge and you're grateful for his 50% that he's bringing in the table, for the 50% that she is bringing in the table, come on. What are you doing? What are you truly doing? What are you really doing? You know, relationship is about two people. And it's really sad when you give up because you can't seem to acknowledge the 50%. That is also one thing I wanted to touch. Not seeing the work of the other. Not seeing the work of your pastor. Not seeing the work of your members. Not seeing the work of your teammates. Not seeing the work of your friends. Not seeing the work of the 50% of whoever is beside you, of your children. They're doing so much, but somehow you can't seem to see it. That breaks relationship. It breaks relationship. I remember growing up, it happened that maybe I came from school, yes, I'm tired. I'm really, really tired, and I'm just sitting on the sofa. My mom comes from work, and she started work since 5 a.m. in the morning. The time she comes back home, I don't know what time it is, because after work, she goes to buy the food. She comes with it at home, and she's drained. And bear in mind, the building where you guys are living is stairs. It's not just on the ground floor, it's just stairs. And even if it was just ground floor, but she used to call me, Grace, yo, come. The first thing I'll be like, oh, mommy. You know, to buy, you don't even want to. You want her to do the right, but do you know what she's done all day? You only probably went to school, and it's true. It was draining. It's draining sometimes to sit down, you know, at that table and listen to your teacher all day long, and walking back to school or taking the bus, whatever it is. It's draining, yes. But that lady went to work, came back home, cooked, and it came back home not empty-handed, but she came home with food in her bag, and all she's asking for your help to bring the food inside. And bear in mind, she's not even going to leave it there. She's going to cook for you. She's going to cook a meal for you to eat, and possibly going to sleep, and he'll go the next day. It starts again. Be grateful of the people who are around you, the ones who are bringing the best, the best that they have, the best. Acknowledge, even if that person brings 20% or 25%, if it's what they have, acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. Don't push. Because the more you push, the more you're rejecting this person. You're pushing away this friendship. You're pushing away this relationship. You're breaking this business. You are not acknowledging the people around you. Do good to them. Be a good... I mean, je ne sais pas comment je peux dire ça. Je ne sais pas comment encore expliquer. Tu n'arrives même pas à voir le bon de ce que les gens tout autour de toi te font. Amen. C'est incroyable. Un leader, c'est quelqu'un qui sert les autres aussi. Un leader, ce n'est pas quelqu'un qui a toujours les épaules élevées. If I may say in French. A leader is not someone who has the shoulder up high. But a leader is also someone who serves. You need to bring your 50%. I remember while I was working in a nursery as a practitioner, my manager, when we were lacking some stuff in a room, she used to leave the office and come join us. She had to leave the work that she was doing and coming to meet us in a room, helping where she can help. And then as soon as the children are getting picked by the parents, then she's gonna go and help the other room. If she has to go to the what's it called, if the cooker is not there, she's the one who needs to cook. She will cook for all the children in the building, according to the roles, according to what had to be cooked that day. Even if she's not the best cooker, she will do her best. But my manager was quite a good cooker. You know, she was really good. So this is what I'm trying to say is, you cannot expect a beautiful work if you don't bring your own. If you can't bring your own, right? If you can't bring your own. Étincelle is here in order to bring out those lights in families, you know, in the young people. This generation needs enlightenment. This generation, this young people will one day become parents, will one day become, you know, mom, a dad, a teacher, also someone that someone else is looking up to. So if you don't fix your behavior now, if you cannot fix your attitude now, then you're just going to failure. You're going towards where you're probably going to give birth to another child, and that child will take up what you are giving. If you have negative behavior, all you can give is negative. But if you have positive energy and positive behavior, that's what you can give. I'm bringing my 50% is positive. It can never be negative. No, 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 no. You know what I like with God is that He always brings His 50%, despite. And He does more than 50%. When you can't seem to bring your 50 and it's probably 25, it's probably 10, probably even 0, He's backing you up because of His love. He's backing you up because of His love, compassion that He has for you. The Holy Spirit never judges. He accepts you just the way you are. Even if you don't bring enough. But somehow, you need to wake up also. You need to wake up. Because the Holy Spirit will not stay there forever. He can move away when you're not considering. Consider someone is also a percentage of care that needs to be seen, that God needs to see, that the people around you need to see. Push. Push because you can do it. Push because no one is asking you 100%. Push because it is possible. Push because it's not impossible. Push because you want a baby, but you can't seem to give your 50% to your baby. There's so much to say when it comes to this topic of meeting me halfway. Étincelle is coming once again, and really wanted to enlighten every single one of you in terms of young people, as I said earlier, parents, young couples, the ones who just started their relationship, the ones that still continue on their relationship. You know, meeting me halfway also touch hygiene. It touches hygiene. It touches strength. It touches so much. It touches so much. We are surely going to develop all these things next time. But meet me halfway. Meet me halfway. Why can't you meet me halfway? Pourquoi tu n'arrives pas à me rencontrer à demi-temps? Pourquoi? Pourquoi c'est si difficile pour toi? Tu fais tellement des efforts, mais moi, j'arrive pas. Je fais tellement des efforts, mais toi, tu n'arrives même pas à voir. Tu abandonnes tout d'un coup parce que peut-être tes intentions étaient, je sais pas. Mais pourquoi tu n'arrives pas à me rencontrer à demi-temps? Donne le meilleur de toi. Give the best of you. And let me give the best of me. This is why Étincelle is trying to bring out in your heart. It's trying to bring in your mind. It's trying to bring in the lifestyle that we're living in right now. Right? And I hope that you really pay attention to every single one of the things I just mentioned right now. Thank you to you that's really connected right now. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for continuing to help, because without you, the show cannot be possible. We are going to meet next week, Friday at the same time, 8 o'clock. And I hope you're going to be ready for the part 2 of meeting me halfway. It was Gracia Susuzande, your host of Étincelle. Stay tuned. See you soon and take care.